Okay, I don't play the guitar. I want to make a sound like ah. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. I can't play the guitar. Hey guys, it's Daniel. Welcome to my first video. I'm very excited to be putting this out. This is long overdue. And yeah, I really hope that you enjoy it. In this video, I'm going to be talking about if you think you can't sing and why you're wrong. Basically, people often think they can't sing because of three main reasons. One is they can't follow the melody or the tune of a song. The second is that they think their voice just sounds bad. And the third is that they've been told not to sing. So I'm going to address everything in this video. Firstly, I just want to talk about tune and melody. And I want to say that this is something that people usually learn. Some people are like, the reason I did that thing with the guitar is because people are like, okay, I want to produce this sound. And then they try and get it with their voice and then they don't manage. And it's like, oh no, I can't do it. I can't sing. It's so stupid. It's kind of like if you were to see someone at a piano, someone who's playing really beautifully, and then there's usually some kind of awareness that this person actually practiced for that. And yet with the voice, then there seems to be some kind of thought that you're either born with it or you're not. And that's really not the case. I've had a significant number of people come to me who have struggled to carry a tune or carry a melody, and they just learn it. I so far do not believe in tone deafness. I've never experienced it. I know someone who's been teaching for 25 years, and she mostly, I think, teaches people who are inexperienced, actually. And she also has never ever come across tone deafness. I actually attend her choir, and she gives completely inexperienced people pretty challenging songs. And yeah, and I also want to say that actually when I started going to choirs, I used to struggle with tune and melody, and it's really like I used to be the last one, I think it felt like, in the whole choir to be able to follow the song that we were actually doing. And I was like, oh fuck, I'm so slow, blah blah. And it just builds up. Yeah, like most people don't really take the time to develop their musical ear. And then when it comes to reproducing a song, then it's like, oh no, I haven't developed this at all, but I can't do it. And it's just really silly. I mean, there are people who are born with a bit more of a natural talent to hear tunes and hear the melody, but it's really nothing to get caught up on if you can't do it. A really good thing to do is to just explore your voice, like the range of your voice. So often one of the issues can be that we don't know where that note is in our voice. Perhaps we can even hear the melody, but we don't know where to place it in our voice. And so a good exercise for this is just to go through your range, just ah, and maybe there's one particular note you want to hit, and it's like an ah, and then you go ah, and you kind of narrow down on that note, and you spend time doing that. And I've done that a bunch of times. Yeah, that's a really useful exercise. Numero due. People think their voice is bad. The problem here is that most people don't have any awareness about the kind of flexibility and plasticity that they have in their voices. So basically we have a whole arrangement of vocal furniture in the mouth, which is something I'm going to talk about in another video much more. There's loads of stuff I'm going to talk about in other videos. But we've got a whole arrangement of vocal furniture. We even, like, the whole of the rest of the body has a big, big, big effect on how the voice sounds. If I have tension in my legs, it has a big effect on how my voice comes out. And so what I want to say basically is I've taken it upon myself every time I hear a voice where I'm like, wow, this is like quite something. How would I change this so that it would be more pleasant? And actually, all it ever is doing is removing tension in order to come back to a more relaxed voice, which is really kind of the essence. I don't think I've ever heard a voice at its most natural sounding unpleasant. Here's the most extreme example. Okay, so there was a dude, let me just reproduce his voice. He spoke he spoke something like this, like it was a really extreme case. And then he just mentioned singing, and he said, "Oh, I can't sing very well. People always tell me to stop singing." And I was thinking to myself, and I was like, what would I do with a voice like this? And I realized that the only thing that's happening here actually is that he's got like this bottom part of his mouth. It's just all to do with tension and alignment. He's got this bottom part of his mouth like slammed up. There's so much tension. It's just really being pulled up. The back of the mouth and the throat is being pulled forward, and then the roof of the mouth is basically being pulled down. And what's being created is like this tiny, tiny space that just rams the voice like up into the front and in the nose. So what's created is a very, very nasal, thin sounding voice. And like, that's not the human voice has a huge range, and all that guy needed, like, I could just hear the transformation. I could just hear what could happen with his voice if all that was done was releasing tension in his mouth. Probably would take some of the rest of the body as well, because everything's interconnected. And most people are just not aware of this. And on to the last thing. So imagine you really, really wanted to learn to dance, and you had a group of friends, and they were all the kind of friends that they only dance if they're totally smashed. So basically, they feel really, really ashamed of dancing, and it takes like a huge amount for them to open up enough so that they can actually feel their own desire to dance and go and do it. So you're learning to dance, you've got the courage to dance. And then maybe you show them a little bit of dancing, and because you're just learning, you're just starting to like flow with your body. Maybe you're just like a little clunky and you like trip a little or you fall over, and these friends are kind of sitting there and they're like really, really, dancing makes them feel really uncomfortable, and they're just watching you, and like some of the stuff you're doing doesn't work, and they're just like, oh, like don't dance, just don't do it, and they're just feeling so uncomfortable. And this is what I've seen a lot, where people have such strong emotions around singing that they're going to actively put someone else down because it makes them feel uncomfortable. And maybe that person like makes a little accident, a little mistake or something. It's nothing big, but somehow it's like someone, it makes them feel uncomfortable enough for them to just go, stop singing, or why are you doing that, or something like that. And it's because of their own discomfort. It's most of the time nothing to do with the person actually singing. I've seen it a bunch of times, like where someone's singing, they're singing nicely, and they just get told to stop singing.
Hey guys, this is me a couple of days later. This is after watching all the clips that I recorded, and I noticed that a lot of what I said at this point was garbage and really garbled. So I've decided to record this bit again, and it's basically don't get too hung up on what other people say. I've met people who don't like Frank Sinatra's voice. I've met people who don't like my voice. I've met people who don't like whatever, anything. I don't like some people's voices that other people absolutely love. So sometimes people tell you to stop singing because they feel uncomfortable with your singing. Sometimes they might not like your voice, but basically, whatever it is, you can sing, and it's no reason to stop singing. Like everything is perfect.
Cool, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. The last thing I would leave with you is just practice. Just practice singing. Um, and just practice to enjoy yourself. Don't practice to be good. Just practice to enjoy yourself. Because if you're enjoying yourself, you're going to keep singing. If you're beating yourself up, you're more likely to stop. And like step one to actually succeeding in singing is singing. That's step one, actually singing. And so you really want, and why the fuck wouldn't you want to enjoy yourself? You really want to just do it so you enjoy yourself. Um, and so do it in a safe space. Practice in a safe space. If there's someone who you know who's going to put you down, or who's going to ask you to stop singing or something, and like, fuck them. Go somewhere else. Like, just treat it as like your little baby. You want to take care of this baby. You don't want some dickheads telling you your baby's ugly to chuck your baby away or something. Maybe that wasn't the best analogy. But anyway, like, go out, have fun, sing. Singing is so important for health, for expression. And if you like this video, please subscribe. There's going to be loads more videos. I'm going to talk a lot about singing, emotions, the body, like posture, alignment. I'm going to talk about nutrition and really just generally the whole of life, which ties into singing much more than most people seem to think. So, thank you and good day.